Hello guys, today we're removing the silicone from a shower tray and we are applying a new one. So first of all we need to talk about tools. So to remove the silicone, basically we need only two snip of knives, a thicker one and a thinner one. If you want to, you can use a silicone remover, but it's not necessarily. I will do it both ways so you can see if it's worth doing it or not. I usually don't use it because I don't have time to let the silicone remover to work. But if you have plenty of time to do that job, then you can use the remover. It will go slightly easier. Obviously, we need a silicone and we need a decent silicone gun. After cutting off the silicone, we need to wipe it off the surface with the metalled spirit. And something that I would definitely recommend it, and I think it's a must to have. It's original primer set for making really nice finish joints. It's basically small plastic parts which will allow finish it off really nice without obviously using the finger, because that is unprofessional, it's ugly, and it doesn't work the way it should work. Right, let me do a close-up on the silicone and we'll see how it's getting on. Right, so first I'm going to apply a silicone remover only on a half of a silicone, so we can see the difference between removing with silicone remover and without. I use quite a lot, quite thick layer, as you can see, and sometimes even after one application, after a couple of minutes, I will apply another one on the top so it will bite that silicone a little bit better. Right, let's see it in a couple of minutes. Right, so it's been about 20 minutes. The sealant remover has been worked. You can see it from closer, what's it look like. So the edges become a bit, they start to shrink and they let it go a little bit. But it's only the edges. The main silicone, it's still there, so we still have to cut it off. Although it will be less work with cleaning after because the edges are coming off quite nicely. Right, so let's remove it, and we're going to cut it off with a snip of knives. We're going to start with the big one, and then we're going to remove the major part of the silicone, majority, and then we need also a small one because the small one is much more flexible. So if we want to cut it off really nice on the wall and we don't want to leave anything, it will just bend it, it will flush the wall, and now we can remove it really nicely. Let's see how it's done. So this part came off really nicely. This part wasn't, I didn't use silicone remover, but it still come off quite nice. It's not too bad at all. I mean, 20 minutes waiting time, very often I don't have that when I'm with a customer, so I do it straight away without remover. But if you do it at home just for yourself, then I suppose you have plenty of time. You can easily apply remover. It will make your job a bit easier. All right, so that's majority off. It's still a bit dirty and ugly, so you can just use a toilet paper to take it off, whatever is there. Now we need to clean it. So this one looks almost ready, although it's not ready yet. We still need to clean it nicely. With the snip of knives, I wouldn't go crazy, just go very gentle, because if your knife will catch a grip and you pull it too strong, it will make a cut which will be impossible to remove. There you go, that's an old one. That's not mine, I haven't even used it yet. So somebody did use the knife before, and that is a cut which stays on the tray. So be careful when you're using a snip of knife, don't go too fast, take your time. Now we're gonna do the tile. See, the small knife is bending nicely and it's running flush with the knife, with the tile, and it's get rid of all the excess of the silicone from the wall. Right, now we need to dry it, obviously. But before we're gonna dry it, I'm gonna use some spirit to get rid of all the bacteria which we can see here, because clearly we can see that there are some bacteria around. And I like this one, the purple one, because this one evaporates almost immediately. So I don't have to wait too long time before I can apply a silicone. Right, now we're gonna go to a more pleasant, more fun part. We're gonna apply the silicone. So first of all, we need a decent silicone, obviously, and the nozzle. The nozzle, some people cut it on the angle. I really don't like that. I prefer the nozzle really straight. You can cut it and make it bigger if you want to apply the silicone quicker. I don't see any reason to do that. But if you cut it at the angle, you're going to release the silicone slightly on the angle as well. If it's cut it straight, the silicone will go straight, and it's easier to control, to push it in all the gaps that are created right now. If you're going to go at the angle, some of the gaps, you might miss them because of the lack of control. With the straight one, you will definitely fill all the gaps. And the cut, people make it a nice finish. The silicone, we're going to apply it, and we're not going to finish it with this with this tube. We have a separate tools to make a nice finish. So this is only application. Right, let's apply it and I'll show you how to finish nicely. Right, so first we need to decide how much silicone do we want it, and that depends on the gap which we have between the shower tray and the tiles. So if the gap is really nice and small, we don't need too much silicone. If the gap is bigger, obviously we need to create a slightly bigger connection. In this case, it's really not a lot, so I'm not going to go crazy with the silicone. And I'm not focusing right now to make it really nice. I'm focusing on filling the gap really nice and even. If we're not going to do it right in one go, not a problem. We can always add it a bit more in a second go. Alright, so now what we need is them. So we can finish the silicone more like more into the round or more like a square. I kind of like the square one, so I'm gonna go with the square one. This one it has the number here. It says 10. We have a different sizes. We can go really small. We can go really big. I usually start with a slightly bigger, and if it's too big, I can always go to a smaller one. So I'm gonna start with, let's say, number 8 today. And what we do, and we just press it here into the corner and press it into that the shower tray and the tile, so it creates nice 90-degree angle, and then we'll pick up all the excess of the silicone here and then removing into a toilet paper or whatever. So I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna start from that side so you can see it better how nicely it pick up all the excess. See, don't go all in one go, because once we have the silicone on that edge, it will start creating a mark on the tile or on the shower tray. So make it a couple of goes. We can start again, no problem. See, it was too much, so it left a slight, very thin mark on the wall. Not a big problem. We can remove it in a second. We have another fantastic tool to do that, but it's no rush. So with this job, I would do it nice and slowly. It will give us much better finish effect. And then from that side, look how nice it's finished. Fingers, definitely not the right thing to do. Couple of reasons. First of all, it looks horrible. Second of all, when we use our fingers while the silicone is still flexible, nice and soft, we apply all the bacteria that we have on our skin into the silicone. And then the silicone has those bacteria before it's even dry. So it's not going to last, because those bacteria will start to work straight away. There you go. Now, if we have an excess of silicone on the wall, like we do have it just a little bit here, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'll make a close-up. Right, so this is what it looks like all together. Really nice and even joint. We do have very, very little excess in, I can't even see it very well, it's here. There you go. So we have that tool, which is finished sharp like that, and that thing can pick up anything really nicely from a tile. As you can see, it picked up very little because there was not much, but there was. So even if your silicone will go over, not a big issue. You have this, you can pick up really, really nicely and make it really nice and clean. Right, that's how I do my resiliconing. As you can see, you can easily do it by yourself at home with the right tools. That's it. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe my channel. I would appreciate that a lot. And see you next time. Ta-da!